And we are back. This is the first comeback video for the Real Splash Brothers. And we have here with me Mithuun Ramesh, contributor to Real Splash Brothers. Mithuun, how are you doing?
I'm good.
And we just finished the women's video. If you haven't checked it out, please go check it out. That's all of our predictions. If we're wrong, come slam us. If we're right, give us a props. Give us a thumbs up. The men's is going to be just as exciting as the women's. So let's get straight to it. We're going to go in order through freestyle. And then we're going to go free, fly, back, and breast, and then IM. So the first event, one of the more exciting races at the very end of the meet, the 50 freestyle. And the big name here is Caeleb Dressel, of course. I think that Caeleb Dressel is pretty safe to win this. I think he's going to be around 21-1. And then the next guy really down the list is Michael Andrew. Michael Andrew, 21-4. Best time. I don't think he's going to push Dressel for first, but as we saw in 2019 Nationals, or yeah, it was 2019 Nationals, or was it 2018? 2019, I believe, where Andrew won 4 individual events and actually took down Dressel in a couple. So it'll be interesting to see. I think Andrew is a racer. I think he's going to get second in this event and be right on Dressel's hip, if not even closer. But I think Dressel has this. And then third, I have Ryan Held, who's looked absolutely amazing, 21-6 just recently in the 50 free. But I don't think he'll have enough to beat Andrew.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think Dressel's start is just too good for him to lose. I think he'll have more of a challenge than you really think, because Michael Andrew isn't that far off.
Oh, no, not at all.
I think he's like he's the world's overall best 50 swimmer. Just of
you take all the strokes.
Yes, yeah. All the strokes. I just I just don't see how his entire training regimen would fail him at this point in this event, especially. He'll be close, but he'll get outmatched at the start. He's gonna have to play comeback, and I don't think he's gonna make it with that much distance. Held has been performing great recently. I really like what he's doing. I like the way he's swimming. I think he has a good shot of staying in the race with Dressel and Andrew. I just don't think this is his race for him to come second and make the Olympics.
So the big question here is, will Dressel go 20-point? Quick answer, go.
No, I don't think so. Not at this meet.
And I'll have to agree with you on that. And what is your reasoning?
I mean, he has the Olympics still. I don't think he has enough of a challenge where he needs to go 20 right now. I mean, I don't think he'll have a challenge at the Olympics either, but it's just about being at the Olympics, putting your best performance. That's going to help him go 20, not right here.
Yeah, and there's a reason why Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte and those guys don't break world records at trials. When you're so dominant in an event, you don't necessarily need to. But I think he's going to be really close. I mean, he could be 20 flat. He could be right around his best time. I think he'll be about a 10th off. But it's going to be crazy to see. And in the 100 free, it's almost the exact same thing. Dressel is the king of this event in the U.S. right now. Ryan Held was 47-3-9 at Summer Nationals. And like you said, we really like what he's doing. He just won his best 50 time just a few months ago. And given how consistent he's been in the 100 free, he's always been near the top in the U.S. I'm going to have him second with Caeleb Dressel. You have a lot of guys in here that have been great. Maxime Rooney was once rated a top 5 NCAA swimmer in the country, and he had an incredible rookie ISL season. I really like his chances here to be top 4, but I'm going to put Zach Apple ahead of him just for the fact that Zach Apple split 46-8 at Worlds. So that is Apple third, and you're going to actually see Blake Peroni for me in 4th. And for some reason, SwimSwam does not like Rooney in this event. They didn't even have him in the top 6. And I usually don't trust swim 100%. You shouldn't trust any source 100%. But because swim is based in Austin and that's where Rooney trains, I'm going to do some kind of weird thing and trust that they know something that maybe I don't. And I'm going to have Rooney at 6 and then have the NCAA champion, Dean Ferris, at 5th. He was 47-0, Dean Ferris, at university games on a relay. So maybe he does push up, but I don't see it happening. He just has not developed long course quite yet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have to take your investigation on Rooney, and swim's investigation on Rooney. I was planning to put him a bit higher, but I got him at 6th, going his best time again, 47.6. I mean, it's a tight race. I got Dean Ferris at 5th, 47.5. He's been 47.0 in a relay, yes. I think taking away the relay start, putting him in some more pressure, better racing, he'll go 47.5, then like a little slower than that. I have Blake Peroni out touching Dean Ferris at 47.5 and getting that last relay spot. Zach Apple, I have 3rd. I mean, he hasn't really shown me much, like as in terms of like the individual swim, but in the relay, he has come up big. And even if he doesn't make it individually and come 2nd, he's going to be I think he's going to be the biggest like performer in the relay in terms of just improving times. I have, of course, Caeleb Dressel 2nd and 1st. I like both of them.
Yeah, and this race is going to be incredible. The U.S. is going to have a strong 4x100, and they're going to need it because the international competition has been stout. 200 free. Speaking of international competition, yikes. The U.S. is weak right now. What do you see in this race moving forward?
Well, okay, let's talk about like the international part first, because I don't think all of our viewers know that much. Okay, so the past like couple of years, the U.S. has been really weak in the 200, and I mean, since then you had Russia, who've had a bunch of like 2-freers just keep improving, blah blah blah. You have Great Britain that just showed up out of nowhere in this relay. They have 2 guys that go 44, I think a 45 and a 146, but he's like 16, and he has plenty of potential to keep dropping. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of competition on the world stage for the U.S. If they want to medal or win a gold medal, a lot of these swimmers have to step up. I have Haas at 1st, Seliskar 2nd, taking the individual spots for the 2-free. I have Karen Smith, Caeleb Dressel, Blake Peroni, and Jake McGahee. My explanation is, I mean, Haas has been pretty decent. I mean, after his like incredible relay splits at Hantax 143. Yep. It's not too good. His performance recently, considering the international standard for the event, but it's good enough where he has the ability to win the event at U.S. trials. Karen Smith has been incredible in this event at NCAA's 129. He just hasn't shown me enough in long course yet where I could put him above Haas. Above Seliskar. I have Seliskar above him right now. He's had good performances, not on the international stage. I mean, you're going to talk about his world's performance in a second, but I mean, this isn't an international meet, so I think he's going to step up, come 2nd, take the individual spot, with Karen Smith coming 3rd. Dressel is also unproven here. I wanted to put Peroni above him, but I mean, considering it's Caeleb Dressel, I have him at 4th, taking the relay spot. He could move up even more. I just haven't seen enough of him in this event yet. And I have Jake McGahee 6th because, I mean, he's just improved a lot. He's still young.
Yeah, and Jake McGahee's a big question here. His 200 free short course, not exactly the best, but long course, he has been really stellar. Young guys also Luca Orlando in that 146 range. So it will be interesting to see how Jake McGahee does. And Townley Haas, of course, incredible relay split. You said 143, 9 of Hantax, only 145 since. And I want to take a second and talk about Seliskar, because Seliskar was 145.5 I believe that is the second fastest time in the United States since 2018. And then he just absolutely trashed Worlds. I think he's like 146.4. I mean, just completely out of the competition. But he did not trash, U.S. Nationals, obviously. He dropped NCAAs at that following season. If he makes the Olympic team, I hope he does not repeat his Worlds performance. But his Nationals performance, if he repeats it, will get him on the relay team. I just think that actually I'll put Kieran Smith just above him. I mean, Kieran Smith, 129 short horse, obviously doesn't exactly correlate. But Andrew Seliskar, given how he did at Worlds, that's kind of the latest big meet for him. I'm not sure how he's going to do. And Dressel, the big question mark. He's been 47 multiple times. Definitely the potential there for him to even go 145. He could move into that top 3. I don't know if he's going to be top 2, but definitely a good shot at the relay. And in the 400 free, we have kind of a few new names in terms of compared to last trials. We have Zane Grothe, who hasn't been his best time is 3:45. He hasn't been that in 3 years. But he is 2 seconds ahead of everyone else. And Kieran Smith should go 3:43, given how fast his 4:06 is. And same with Jay McGahee, but neither of them will. And that's an issue with American swimming in general, is the conversion from short course to long course. No matter how fast people seem to get short course, they just can't carry it over quite the same long course. But we'll see. We haven't seen Kieran Smith really at this level yet. So him and Jake McGahee, I have them 2 and 3, with Smith taking the second spot. But somebody's got to convert a fast 500 to a good 400 time. It could be Smith right here, and he could take down Zane Grothe, but I'll say that he gets second and edges out Jake McGahee.
Oh yeah, I mean, Grothe is much faster than anyone else in the country right now. I just don't see how anyone's going to get over him for the top spot. Even if he doesn't go 3:45, goes like 46. I think he will go 45, but even if he doesn't, he should still be able to get it. I mean, since starting at Georgia, McGahee has been dropping time like crazy. Like, he dropped 5 seconds in the 400 just earlier this year. And I mean, it's the first time he has swam it under college swimming. I think he'll have a lot more to show coming into trials. I think him and Smith are going to have a repeat close race like NCAAs. But like, again, McGahee's going to come in clutch. And I mean, he's going to win here at the big stage, get second, get his first trip to the Olympics. And I mean, you do talk about, yes, American swimming needs to like get these guys to go a lot faster in long course. I mean, the 400 has been really weak for America for like 50 years now. So I mean that's a big like thing the U.S. needs to address. But I think McGahee and Smith are like a good silver lining to the U.S. being able to be competitive in this race again. I mean, after all, think about the world's fastest times ever in this event. You got one from 2009 being the second fastest, and then the fastest being from 2009, and the second fastest from being way back in 2000. People need to step up in this event and make it.
Yeah, we just saw Elijah Wilmington take down Mac Horton from Australia. Didn't make it, but Elijah Willington, 3:42. No U.S. swimmer is going to go that. And it's just unfortunate in these events, and it only gets worse as we go up, but maybe it is time for a new face in the 800. The new event, and it's Bobby Fink. And Bobby Fink was miles ahead short course yards in the 1650. He has been for 2 years, 14:12. Can he do it in the 800 and 1500? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt just because of how fast he is short course. We've seen in the past that when a guy is that good at short course, they tend to be at least decent long course. Zane Grothe and Wilimovsky have been stellar in this event, going 7:43 and 7:45 in 2018 respectively. But I don't know if either of them withstand a distance from much longer that level. It's been a few years for them. Since they've gone close to their best times, I'm going to have Bobby Fink going first, taking down both of them, and then Grothy second, with Milomovsky just missing out. But he's got that open water swimming. He's already in. So that's what I have.
All right, I'm going to switch up Grothy and Fink in my rankings. I have Grothy coming first and Fink coming second. I mean, this event confuses me a little bit because it's so new to the Olympic scene. I mean, I feel like less men are used to swimming the 800 than women are to swimming the mile, just because the 800 is a shorter distance and coaches aren't really going to focus on it that much. Let's be honest, I've swum this event like a couple times. Whenever I swim this event, I just couldn't see it being like a distance event. It's just like an extended mid distance, you know. It's really it's a whole 200 shorter than the short course 1,000.
Yeah.
So I have the 400 winner just taking this sort of mid-distance, sort of distance event also. Fink has dominated the mile short course. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But as I've mentioned, this isn't anything like that event, since it's like it's the 1650, the 800 is less than half of the 1650. So you just got to think about that. His ability is good enough for him to finish second. Milomovsky has been great in this event. There's no doubt in him coming third. I just have them.
Yeah, and in the 1500, I think that it just becomes more apparent that Bobby Fink is probably the favorite in this event. Milomovsky's got that open water Cali flow. Like, that guy is built for this. I think he's going to outtouch Grothy, but it's going to be a close race between all three and potentially a really great race. Fink should be like 14:39, given how insanely dominant he is short course, but he's not going to go that. And it's unfortunate because it might take 14:39 to even medal at the Olympics this year, given how fast people have been. But I think Bobby Fink's going to take it in the 1440s low. And Jordan Milomovsky and Zane Grothy will be close. They've all been about 1445, 1446. So it'll be interesting to see how this race goes. But I think that group of three has this basically 100%.
Yeah.
Look out for youngster David Johnston in that race, because he's got a lot of room to improve. Shout out to him. Hopefully he does pretty well.
There are a couple of good youngsters in this race.
Jake McGahee, of course. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I think Fink's gonna have a big turn this event. He's gonna show that his short course dominance isn't for nothing, and I think he's gonna dominate this race actually. But I just don't see him going under 1440. I think that's gonna be what it takes to medal. Also, I just don't see him going under that. But I mean, he could surprise us. We'll see. Milomovsky with his open water, he should have enough of the lead just by holding a strong, steady pace the whole time. Grothy's probably gonna like come at him in like the last 100 or 50 or something. I think the distance will be too much where he won't be able to close the race on Milomovsky. But I do think it's gonna be super close. Like, Milomovsky's gonna outtouch Grothy for second, and he's gonna make the Olympics from that race.
Yeah, and hopefully if Bobby Fink does win, he does well in a great fashion, because the United States needs someone up there in the distance ranks. We haven't had someone in a very long time. And let's switch it up now to the 100 backstroke, talking about having a veteran, Ryan Murphy. I think even with youngster Shaine Casas coming around, how great of a season he has, the 51.94 in 2018, and being a consistent leader in the country, Murphy should win this race, but not by much. Grievers has been incredible in this race and went 52.55 at 33, which is unreal. Imagining going that fast in 100 backstroke, and I mean in any race at 33 years old. He's 36 now though, and given how amazing Casas has been in backstroke this season, I think Shaine Casas is gonna make the big jump, and he's gonna make the Olympic team in this event. and the 200, but we will talk about that in just a second. I got Murphy first, Shaine Casas second, and I think Griever's going to have a good race. I think he's going to close out an excellent career if he does decide to take it off, which would make sense. I think he's going to actually end up getting third. I see him going 52 high. I see him having an amazing end of his career, just with the adrenaline being there. Why not?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have the same top 3 as you. I think it would be insane if Rivers made it back one more time. I just don't see it though. I mean, I think he's just a bit too old. I mean, he's 36. It's hard. I mean, he's been working super hard. He's put up like insane times, not just for like his age, but like for anyone.
Yeah.
But I think with Casas emerging this year, I don't see Griever's just being there in the top 2. But why would I doubt Murphy? I mean, he's the world record holder. He's been consistently top. He's consistently been at the top of like American backstroke. I just don't think anyone's going to beat him. It is going to be a lot closer than expected. I don't see Murphy going 51 at this meet. I got him at like 52, like really low. Casas is going to be right around there as well. I think Greer's going to be 52 high as you mentioned.
Yeah, and I think this kind of thing with a close race, even though Murphy is so dominant in the event, is going to be the same thing in the 200. I mean, Murphy has in the 200. Murphy is 153.5. He was that at Tampax in 2018, and I don't think anyone is going to touch him. But Casas is that man short course right now, and Murphy has been that man for years. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. Casas is right behind Austin Katz as of now, but Katz had a pretty much abysmal NCAAs and has not done much since 2019. So I really can't bet against Casas right now. It's just going to be a question of how fast can he go. He's been 155. Can he go 154? And if he does go 154, even if it's low, I don't know if Murphy's going to go 53.5 again. So right now I have Ryan Murphy first, Shaine Casas second, and Austin Katz third. But it's going to be an incredible race. It's going to be so exciting seeing Shaine Casas going against Ryan Murphy in the highest stage.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Murphy will actually dominate this event at trials just because he's just so much better than everyone else here. I don't see anyone coming within a second of him at this meet. Casas won the event at NCAA's, granted being really close, but Lasco hasn't been able to perform that to this level in long course. I mean, I just don't see him even being like the top 8, honestly. He's seated really low. But I think that, I mean, this is going to be like Casas' event in like a couple years, giving him more long course training and stuff. But right now it's not it. Murphy is still Murphy. I have Katz is right above Casas right now, but Katz hasn't been very good this past year. I'm giving him like a huge chance here of coming third. Like, I'm just like, hey, maybe he'll just come through at this meet, get third. But there's a really good chance that he's just going to continue to underperform. It's hard to just break away from that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't show up in the top 3.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Katz does. Maybe he literally just trained through NCAAs, but that doesn't really make sense given how competitive UT is at that level. Switching it up now, 100 breaststroke. What do you see in this event, and what a year it's been for Michael Andrew?
Oh, dude, this is all Michael Andrew. Even if I actually think the race is going to be super close, but like just the way Michael Andrew has swam this year and pretty much everything he swam, especially in this event, though, he's literally dropped like over a half second, well over a half second. And I think he has the American record now, right?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think
he's
so.
Right on it.
Yeah, he's been incredibly hot. I mean, Wilson's right there, but I think Andrew is going to come into this meet and like you know how like in lots of sports, it just depends on like how hot you are at the moment. I think it's the same here. Andrew's been looking a lot better coming into this meet. I mean, Wilson, he's been 58, but it's been a little while. But they're the only two Americans under 59. It's going to be 1-2 now. Nick Fink's good, but I just don't see him going like under 59 to get in that spot.
Yeah, and I mean, Nick Fink broke the American short course meter record at ISL last year in this event and the 200 breast. And with Andrew Wilson as the only underswimmer to go 58 in the last 2 years, I think he's going to get it done. Nick Fink in third. But in the 200 breast, it's a little bit of a different story because we have Will Lacone. And if you don't know, I love Will Lacone. He deserves to be in the Olympics. He's underrated as heck. And he has the best time of 2:07.6. I have him first. With Josh Pernot being as inconsistent as he is, I don't think he will knock the 2:07 low like he did in 2018. Andrew Wilson, who we just talked about on the 100, has been 2:07.7, but I'm going to give Nick Fink the edge. I think Fink will take second in either the 100 and 200 breast. I think Swim Swam, when they did their preview, was onto something with him having the success in short course meters. Obviously a little bit different, but I can see him getting second in either of these races, but the 200 breast has more margin for him to gain. If he does go 2:07 low, coming off an American record season in ISL, he will make the team. But currently his best only sits at 2:08.
Oh yeah, Will Lacone has always been super strong in this event, even from like a really, really young age. And I mean, I was actually rooting for him to make the Olympics last time. He got out-touched, very heartbreaking. But I think that he's going to take most of the second chance, and he's going to win it here. I think he's going to come first in this event. Pernod he's just been too inconsistent. I mean, and currently he's on that like off period where he's just kind of like a bunch of bad performances. I don't think he'll be in the top three like you mentioned. I would switch around Fink and Wilson though. I got Wilson coming in second, taking that second Olympic spot. It's just been, I mean, Andrew Wilson has been a solid performer in this event. I mean, Fink broke the American record at ISL, but it is short course, and I just think long course is so much different, and I think I just have to give the edge to Wilson in this.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. I guess it's just kind of a feeling. Nick Fink, given how fast he was in short course meters at ISL, thinking that he can get it done, either the 100 or 200 breast. But Andrew Wilson has also been proven here. And even Josh Pernod being inconsistent. It is worth mentioning that he was, I think, well over 2:10. Maybe that was his fastest time, 2:10, before he went 2:07 low. So he has been inconsistent in the past and still done well. Would not surprise me necessarily if he showed up and shocked everyone and won the event. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that Will Lacone ends up making it at least, but there is the potential there for a breakout swim. Now, switching into the 100 fly, Dressel is practically unbeatable in this. And I really want to say that Andrew will take down Rooney. Rooney was 50.68 at Summers, which is incredible, and Andrew was 50.8 just months ago. But I think Rooney has a better shot of getting second. Flashbacks to 2018 Nationals, though, where Andrew stepped up in multiple events on the best in the country and won 4 titles. Andrew can be a little bit wonky, and that's really an understatement, especially wonky on the back half. But I like his chances here, at least to get third. But I am going to say Andrew gets second. I'm going to trust the process. And when I say I want to put him second, it's because I want to put him second. I believe that Rooney will get second. I just know it's going to happen, but I want Andrew to get second. I want him to step up again. I'm hoping for it. I will have him second, but I think Rooney's going to get second. Confusing, I know, but I'm rooting for Andrew here. What about you?
Yeah, I got Andrew too. You just made it way more complicated. I mean, yeah, I understand. I mean, Rooney's been really good, but I mean, you gotta trust Mike. I mean, if you don't trust it already, you gotta trust Michael Andrews, US RPTU, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's beating Caeleb Dressel in this event, not here or at like the Olympics. I mean, he's the only one that's been 49 in such a long time. He's just in a completely different league here. I mean, although like Michael Andrew and Rooney have been like the same time in the 50 range, Michael Andrew has been absolutely insane this year. And like I mentioned before, I think it's all about who comes in hot. I think he'll carry his hot streak and make the Olympics in this event, out touching Rooney. I think competitively they'll push each other, go like 50 mids to maybe even 50 low at very best. But I think it's just going to be Andrew over Rooney. That's what I got here.
Yeah, and it is worth note saying that Andrew was 50.8 just months ago, along with his 100 breast best time. So he does have the hot seat right now. In the 200 fly, it's a lot different. A lot different. All new names. And the biggest name, I think, kind of going into it, is Luca Orlando, who was 153 at just 17 years old. And he had an injury in 2020, I believe, to his shoulder, which almost ruined his chances of making the Olympic team until its postponement. While his 2021 NCAA season wasn't exactly the best, given he's only about a second faster in the 200 fly short course than he was at 16, he still dropped. And every month past his injury, he's improving. Orlando is a second ahead of everyone else, but it is a tight field after Orlando. Justin Wright technically has the second fastest time, but he just hasn't been there. He hasn't even been under 2 minutes this season. So that's why I'm going to say Zach Harding, who's just 0.4 ahead of Justin Wright, or Justin Wright's 4 seconds or 0.4 ahead of Zach Harding. Sorry. Harding was 155.0 in 2018 and 55.2 in 2019. That's consistency, and in my book, that's really good. Cal's Trenton Julian coming off an NCAA loss in the 200 fly. So tough. You knew he wanted it. You could see it while he was watching how upset he was. I think he's going to come back and have a good race here. I just don't know if he's going to take down Zach Harding, but I think he's going to give it a really good shot.
Well, I mean, last World Championships, there was a lot of talk about Milok of Hungary being so young, beating Michael Phelps's record, all that. But people tend to forget that Orlando's right up there, just being young and fast. He was 153 back in 2018. I mean, if you look at it, it's pretty much just his injury. I mean, that prevented him from competing for a while. It was a big shocker back in 2020. But now that he's had over a year to rehab, I don't think it should be a problem winning this event, even if it still affects him even a tiny bit. He has a pretty good edge on the rest of the field. He's a lot faster than any American. I'm not going to doubt it at this point. He's been improving every time he swims since his injury. I mean, even though he's hasn't had a super good NCAA season, we don't know the Orlando names so well just from his short course performances. I mean, his long course races have been so much more impressive. If you look at Justin Wright, he's been 154 back in 2018. He just has not been consistent at all. I mean, I think he has it in him to make the Olympics, but I mean, he just fell so bad that I just don't see him coming in the top 3. I have the same order as you do, Orlando, Harding, Julian. Yeah, I think Julian's gonna have a great comeback. He had a good short course season. I mean, despite the disappointments and everything, but I think that ability will come in really big, and he's gonna come in the top 3.
Yeah, and I agree, and I'll be rooting for Trenton Julian. What an incredible season he had, getting into the 138 range in the 200 fly. And for our final 2 races, the IMs, So let's knock through these. We have in the 200 IM, Michael Andrew, who has been amazing this season, 156.8 in this event, but I just don't know how much he's going to drop. He's a sprinter by heart now, and he fades hard. He was 30.8 on one of these 200 IMs. He swam one 157. I mean, just terrible. It's just terrible to watch. 24.0 going out. He is just a wonky swimmer, like I said, in this event, but he is 156. I just don't know if a full taper is going to change his last 50 from a 29 to a 27. Chase Casas is the big name, has been dominant in this event. Casas is also weak on free, but his front half is close to the top. He stays within the pack, and his breaststroke is just absolutely killer. Michael Andrew has a good breaststroke. We talked about in the 100 breast, but there is just a way that Chase Casas swims this event. It's so even, so well paced, and on the breaststroke, it's just insane to watch because you know he's going to come back and win. And in third, I have Carson Foster. He was 157.5 in 2019. He dropped short course. I think he's going to go 156 and get third. I just have a feeling he's going to show up. He usually does on big stages. He's been there for years and years. I mean, 4 years since his first Junior Worlds. So I think he's going to do really well.
Yeah, I mean, okay, the 2 IM is a bit interesting, right? You have Michael Andrew, right, who I've mentioned before is the world's best 50 swimmer. So, I mean, what happens when you put all the 50s together in one race for him? Well, at the end of the day, the race does end up being a 200, so he's not going to be as dominant. That doesn't mean he won't be great. He has been 156 this season. He just dies off too badly because of like the long distance. I mean, he hasn't been fully tapered or whatever that even means according to his training, but I mean, that will be a factor on his chance to even take over Caeleb for the top spot. Caeleb hasn't been too good these past 2 years, but considering that his best is way above everyone else, I think even like a slightly off swim should be good enough for him to win the event. I mean, Foster has been 157. I mean, he's coming off a great NCAA year. I think he'll drop a solid amount, which should be good enough to secure him at third. Andrew, it just depends. I mean, is his last 50 gonna stay at 29, maybe drop a little bit to like a 28, or is he just gonna like blow it out of the water and actually have like a 27 comeback and go like 154?
That would be insane.
I just don't know.
Yeah, he's gone out so fast in all of his races. He's actually been ahead of world record pace, I think, maybe three or four times at the 100. I'm personally excited because I'll be able to watch that race in person. Gosh, it's gonna be crazy because you know he's gonna be out ahead. I mean, he might have upwards of a body length on the field going into that first second turn it would be at the 100. So it's going to be pretty incredible to watch. But the 400 AM, don't even pray that Andrew shows up. He's never swimming a 400. But we do have Chase Casas. Chase Casas is a big question though in this event. Given he hasn't touched his best time of 405 since 2017, and he's only been 407 since. In the last 3 years, I want to say Litherland beats him, but Casas has just been so deadly on breaststroke that I think he'll just barely hang on. But it's going to be so close. I mean, 407 is still better than Litherland's best. Remember, Litherland came back on Lochte in 2016. Unbelievable comeback to go 409 and make the Olympic team in the second place. Who was ahead of him? Chase Casas. I think Casas is just going to get it done again. It might be 2 408s. Casas might go 407, but that's really all he needs to do. Because other than Litherland, I have Carson Foster in third again. I don't think Foster is going to go any faster than maybe 410 low, 409 at the best. So I think if Casas and Litherland go 408s, they're pretty much safe.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, Casas hasn't been 405 since 2017. He's only been 407. During this time period, Litherland has kept improving. He's put up better times year after year. I actually have Litherland winning this event over Kalish, out touching him, and I'll explain why in a second. But I mean, if Kalish doesn't like surprise anyone at trials and just goes his time again, I mean, it's really hard to do. That's why I don't have him winning. I mean, if he swims around a 409, I think Litherland's is a clear cut to beat him. I mean, Litherland has a fantastic freestyle, and if he's running someone down, I think at this meet especially, he's going to have that extra push to get into finishing first. If Kalish is like too bad, I can honestly see Foster getting ahead of him also. I mean, I see Foster dropping to a 409 high at best, so a poor swim could like make Kalish out of the question going to Olympics. If you look at Litherland, I mean, his freestyle is just amazing. I saw the race of the past year. It was sometime the past year where he was racing Diaceto, who's been dominating this event in the international stage, and he was running him down. But it's cool to see that. I can't wait to see how Litherland does against Kalish again this year. I think they'll make the Olympics again, but I have Litherland upsetting Kalish at an out touch going 4 days.
Yeah, and poor Carson Foster, because once again, you have Bobby Fink in this event too, and we saw Carson Foster get absolutely run down by Bobby Fink, not only once, but twice. And Litherland will do the exact same. And even if Carson Foster's ahead, I think Kalish is going to catch him on the breaststroke, and then Litherland will catch him on the freestyle. So, but Carson Foster, still young. He still has a lot of room to drop. And he had such a great short course, 3:35, second fastest all time. Short course only to chase Kalish. So he is a good shot. And even time-wise, if Foster goes 409, that's so impressive. It would be absolutely amazing for the U.S. to have 3 guys under 410. It might be the first time in history that's ever happened. So absolutely awesome to have that at the Olympic trials. And that wraps up our final event of our previews. One final question I have to ask: what are you looking forward to? Rapid answer, go.
Okay, 100 fly.
100 fly.
Yeah.
Because of what? Michael Andrew
and Rooney. I think they're going to be like head to head, like dead even. It's just gonna, well, not like dead even, but like I think Rooney's gonna like dead even time. I think Rooney's gonna run down Andrew the second 50. It's gonna be so cool to watch, especially if he gets ahead and out touches him. And I mean, Caeleb Dressel has just put on a show every time he swam this at a big meet. I can't wait to see what he goes. I mean, it's rare to ever see like 49s in this event, and he's done it multiple times, so it's always fun to watch. But yeah, that's my race. That's my men's race at the meet.
Yeah, and for me, I'm probably gonna say the 200 back, because I just want to see how fast Shaine Casas ends up going. Really, all these races are super exciting. I think the 200 IM is also exciting. Any race with Michael Andrew is going to be a show. He reminds me a little bit of someone named Peter Paulus, who once said that he likes to just go out fast to give everyone a show. And the great thing is Michael Andrew sometimes can close out some races and win it big. So it's awesome to see him go out that fast. But Shaine Casas, I just want to see how he does converting his short course success to long course. And how amazing would that be to have someone from Texas, a local who I watched at state in high school in 2018, my freshman year, who was really just a third place, bronze medalist at state. I mean, absolutely insane to think about. And now he's up there with a chance to make the Olympic team. I mean, absolutely incredible. So that is my most exciting race I am looking forward to. I will be in trials the last 4 days. I'm so hyped. And that concludes our 2 previews. Again, if you haven't watched it, go watch the women's. Thank you so much for watching this. Please come over, take us down, hit us with DMs if you're angry about our predictions, because we're probably going to be wrong. There's always some chances, but you know what? It's all for good fun. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.